From the Tennessee Valley Weather Channel, this is your weather at noon.
Hey folks, good afternoon. Thanks for joining me for your September 21st edition of your live weather at noon, the last Sunday of summer, and it still feels like summer out there. I'm starting out with the Waynesboro camera because I noticed when I was checking out the cameras, I'm going to step off here real quick, we got thunderstorms already popping up here, the beginning of that active pattern. This is looking just southwest of Waynesboro proper, and this is lifting slowly north and east. So if you have any outdoor activities ongoing south of Waynesboro, hey, expect this cloudburst to come on through. That's some very heavy rain coming on in. Temperatures in the 80s, dew points in the 60s, near 70 at times. So there's a lot of moisture out there. Still not seeing any signs of development so far in North Alabama, although I expect that to kind of continue to pop up storms like this through the next several hours. In fact, just earlier when I was looking at this camera, these clouds weren't here. So we're beginning to see that convective bubbling starting to pop up here. We're already near 90 in Florence, so there's plenty of heat to work with on this classic summer day. All right, taking a look at the Futurecast next 24 hours. This has a pretty good handle on things over the next few hours. Like I just mentioned, taking a look at the environmental conditions that we have today. Yeah, it's not surprising at all that this is kind of painting the picture of scattered storms popping up through the area as we head through the next 6 or so hours. Showers lingering through tonight, but I suspect they'll kind of fade away as that convection shuts down in the overnight hours. So we'll be mostly dry starting the day out tomorrow, but for our Monday, expect a day similar to today, if not with more rains coverage across the area, right? In fact, notice as we head through 1, 2, 3 o'clock, we've got relatively widespread scattered thunderstorm activity popping up here as we head through, the I-65 corridor up into southern middle Tennessee. In fact, Storm Prediction Center for tomorrow has issued a level 1 out of 5 risk for severe weather for much of southern Tennessee and the I-65 corridor, say Rogersville over to Athens and Huntsville, for the possibility of some isolated stronger storms there, maybe some hail, just up to quarter size, gusty winds 50 miles an hour, maybe a little higher, and some very heavy downpours and frequent lightning with a few of those storms. We're not expecting major severe weather or anything like that, but the next several days are a very similar pattern in that we have these kind of level 1 out of 5 low-end risks where a couple of storms could get a little bit naughty, if you know what I'm talking about, right, where we just catch a little bit of strength with those. So that's the pattern we're heading into. In fact, in these first days of fall, right, it's going to be pretty wet here as we head through Tuesday. Same story. Storms are probably going to be more so relegated to north of the state line. Southern Middle Tennessee has a better shot at rain on Tuesday as opposed to North Alabama. Now, don't necessarily think you'll be dry in North Alabama, but the chances are a little bit lower there. Then as we head through Wednesday, all of us are probably going to see some thunderstorm activity, at least at one point or another, as the system kind of moves through, slows on down. Scattered thunderstorms still look likely as we head through Thursday. Then it becomes a little more isolated as we head towards the end of the week. Don't think it'll be nearly as widespread by Friday and Saturday. So I think the widespread rain, that's going to be the next 3 or 4 days through about Thursday, right? So let's keep our umbrella on hand. We're going to be picking up an inch or two of rain, isolated spots higher than that, because these are some pretty moist conditions that we have in the atmosphere, and we have a drought in portions of southern middle Tennessee, in fact, up to a severe criteria drought. So combine these factors, and it wouldn't shock me with all this rain to see some isolated street flooding at times. So we'll watch that very carefully. But yeah, keep that umbrella on hand. Keep an eye on the Tennessee Valley Weather app. That'll notify you if you have outdoor plans, if there's lightning nearby within 15 miles, because when thunder roars, go indoors. That is definitely an axiom you want to live by. So we kind of let up a little bit by the end of the week. Isolated is the story by Friday and Saturday with cooler temperatures. But for now, yeah, like I said, keep that umbrella on hand. Maybe push those outdoor plans off for later in the week or even next weekend, because it's going to be a wet one as we head into these first days of autumn. Well, thanks for joining me here for your live forecast update at noon. I'll be back with you at 2 p.m. for an updated look at your afternoon forecast.
You're watching the Tennessee Valley Weather Channel.
Huge savings, guys.